from the city of the brotherly love, Philadelphia, in the suburb of Norristown. And I want to give the welcome today to an interview that is very necessary on these days as we see many municipalities and counties coming to welcoming resolutions. Today, I have with me Erica Jones and Dana Thompson, members of the Upper Merion Welcoming 66?
62. Yes.
62, of the Welcoming 62 group. And welcome, Dana and Erica.
Thank you, Obed.
Thank you.
Then tell us about yourselves. How would you introduce yourselves? Who want to go first?
You go ahead.
Sure.
You go.
My name's Dana. I'm a mom, first and foremost. I have not been in the workplace since my first was born. And so the whole time that they've been young and little, I've been consumed by their activities and their needs, and they're growing. But my 3 kids are getting bigger. I have 2 that are in Upper Merion schools right now, and the youngest will be starting in the fall. And as their lives have changed, so has mine. And my being home has given me the freedom and the availability to serve my neighbor. And I can't say that I set out with a specific goal or to find a certain thing. But when you are available, then God will bring things into your life that you can say, oh, that's something that I can do. That's a problem that I can fix or that I can apply myself towards. And so there are immigrants in my family, immigrants in my close friend group, immigrants among my neighbors. And so while immigration can be abstract in certain neighborhoods or in certain parts of the country, it is concrete where we are, and these faraway Washington policies have very direct effects on the lives of the people around me and people that I care about. And so when activity started buzzing, when I find a place that I can apply myself and be useful, that's where I go, and I try to. So the things that align with my values and align with my skills and align with my schedule, that's where you'll find me.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. And you, Erica?
So I'm a mom, foster mom, a teacher. What else? A dog mom. I'm a little bit of everything. This has really hit me in a few different places. I've fostered children who I don't know if they're immigrants or not, but I know that their families have been somewhere down the line. I know some of the stories that I've heard through the foster system. It's nice to kind of be a part of that, to support these kids when their parents are unable to, whether it be their fault or not. I'm also a mother. Both of my children are adopted. I couldn't have children of my own. I'm not pushing adoption. I'm not all of that because I'm now. But very similar. I kind of put myself in an open position. We wanted kids, and the right kids found us, with various different stories. And both of my kids are minorities in their upbringing, and so I do a lot of kind of teaching them what to expect, how to love themselves, and how to love their culture, because that's what's most important right now in their lives. I'm also a teacher. I have a specialist, not degree. I'm a specialist, ESL specialist. So I have my master's in teaching ESL, but I don't teach ESL. I teach math, but I specialize in being there for my ESL students in the school as I teach them math, so that they can feel more comfortable learning a third language, because honestly, they have their first language, they're learning English, math it's a third language, so it's nice to be able to be there for them in that time of need. I'm also been part of this organization with two children who are minorities. I don't want them to grow up and wonder why I didn't do anything. They're young enough that they can't stand up for themselves, so that's my job as a mom. And so I want to try and make our community more accepting of them and anyone who looks like them, because that's got to be scary. I don't want to go too far because I know.
Should we push that mic over a little bit?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's all
Our
good.
technicians will tell us if they have any problem.
Okay.
It's very important what you have mentioned about your experience as mothers, and be sensitive to the reality that's around you. And we know that you are two of a bigger group, no? You, before we started the recording, you mentioned that there were others that started the group, that were started to gather.
Who has been there longer than us, done so much more than we have. They've had emergencies, and so we've kind of stepped up. We want to make sure that someone is here.
Yep, we are here in gratitude to and representing our leadership, who was not able to make it to this interview.
Let's start from the beginning. How do you came together and involve into this group?
Into this group specifically,
Or to trigger your interest to be active on this?
I mean, I would say my interest in being active started during the civil war in Syria. Remember that picture of the little boy on the beach?
Mm-hmm.
And
A decade ago, yeah.
A decade ago, and being a mother and having a child the same age, and saying that could be my child, and what can I do for those other mothers, and how can I serve? How can my mother's heart be a gift to more than just my own children? And so my husband and I have been involved in foster care for immigrant youth and various things over time through our abilities. There's things you can and can't do when you have young kids. Most recently, I can't say that there was one specific event, but of course, as we see all the news coming out of Minnesota, and it just gets worse every day.
And you said you were born in Minnesota, right?
I was born in Minnesota.
So you didn't spend.
I don't have any memories of Minnesota.
That touches my heart. Just that connection.
And there was somebody. I'm involved with the parent-teacher organization at my kids' elementary school, and there was somebody that I had met from another school parent-teacher organization that seemed like somebody who was really active, a real go-getter, somebody who had goals and went after them and wanted to improve her community. It was somebody I got that sense about, and I had kept her phone number, and I said, oh, you know what? If anybody knows what's going on in this area, it's going to be that woman. And so I texted her, and I said, hey.
What is happening here?
And she had asked me questions about the ESL program at my child's school. And so I knew that, even as a white English-speaking mom, she was somebody who was concerned about immigrant kids. And I texted her. She said, let me add you to the group. We've got a meeting coming up. We're doing this thing. And I found my people.
That's beautiful.
And what about you, Erica?
I'm antisocial. I don't like people.
And here we are.
You're sending me notes. Am I good now? Okay. I love people. I don't like talking to people. I joined a mom's group in Upper Marion a while ago. I don't do many of the events, but I'm trying to get my kids to be more able to be with other kids despite me not being as open with people. And so one of the moms there posted a question, it was just a very vague question, kind of asking if there was anyone in the group who had a passion like this. And I responded, and I had been looking, I had been wanting to do more. I'd hear about these rallies after the fact. And I'd be like, well, if I knew about it, we were free that day. There was one where my mom was actually watching my kids at the time of the rally, and my husband and I could have gone to it, but we didn't know about it because I'm just not in the circles. And so joining this group has really opened so much. So when I responded, I guess, to that woman in the moms group, I just started ranting. I just said it all. I'm like, I want to change this. I want to do that. I want to provide this. I want to be able to. And she was like, I got the group for you. She sent me the link to kind of join the group, and like you said, I found my people, and they actually linked me to other groups as well, to be more available and to help me.
Now, very important to register and to express to our audience what has been, what you can say, the effects, how ICE presence has affected the daily life of the people in the municipality, in the region. What are the noticeable things that you have been sensitive or seen, or what you have heard, perhaps even from your own kids?
I have, so the biggest place I've seen it is in my school. So I'm a teacher, ESL specialist. None of my classes are all ESL students, but I've been with my ESL students one of the longest out of the rest of my students. They get me. And so I've seen the same students this year compared to last year. I have one student who I nominated for Student of the Month Student of the Quarter, sorry. Because she's always on it, always doing her work, always concentrating, asking questions, finding answers. Such a good student, good person, good student. And this year, same thing. It's not a year thing, but the past few months, ever since ICE has been getting closer and closer to our area, and now that they're here, she is half falling asleep in class, not getting her work done, just not able to concentrate. There's been days where some students just don't show up, and I never know if it's because they're actually sick, as that's okay, but it's more often than last year. And when I talk to them about it, they have expressed how they're stressed out. They can't concentrate. They're having such a hard time getting to school because they don't feel safe. And so now that they're also trying to learn and stay, it's not good. It's not a good picture at all. My son, kind of bringing it back to my family, my son is the older one. He understands more than my daughter does right now. I literally live 10 houses from where I grew up. Born and raised. I was born in Bryn Mawr, wasn't born in King of Prussia, but definitely I've always been here. Moved out for a couple years as I was getting onto my own 2 feet when I moved out from my parents' house, but I moved back to the same area, and I always got to walk down to Angelo's, walk around the area, run errands, go to 6-Eleven to buy stuff for my mom if we don't have enough milk for dinner. And I'm not comfortable with my son doing that. He's at the age where he should be doing that. And he wants to be doing that. And he is mature enough to be doing that, but I'm scared. He's scared. His friends are scared. My nephew actually was really affected once because there was a detention in front of his friend's school bus right across from his elementary school, and he gets scared that he's going to lose his best friend. His best friend, I think, is a twin. I'm not sure, but he's scared to lose his friends. He's scared for their safety, for their sanity, and for it to be touching even elementary aged children. That says a lot. That says ICE is doing something that's wrong, because it should not be touching our 8-year-olds. Like, I don't know, they shouldn't be feeling that that's not they shouldn't be part of their lives at this point.
Dana.
When I would talk to immigrant friends of mine or parents of my kids' friends, and in years past there was always a sense of, well, you know, even if not everybody in your family has all their paperwork in order, as long as you keep your head down, do your work, don't get in trouble, don't commit crimes, don't get a DUI, like, if you're a good contributing member of this society, you're going to be okay. They're going after the bad guys. And that sense of assurance and that sense of safety is gone.
Yes.
And everybody who is an immigrant, a member of an immigrant community, a member of an immigrant church, everybody knows somebody that's not here anymore.
Yes. Ever since one of my students' fathers was detained and then deported. And he's not there.
I don't know what it's like to be that mom who can't honestly say to her kid, that won't happen to you. That won't happen to us.
Right.
We're safe. But if you can't honestly say that to your kid, and if you can't make that promise,
what do you say? What do you say to them at that point?
And there are coming even larger situations, like now in April, when it's coming the resolution of the birthright citizenship, which is, the executive order that the current president submitted to stripe from the right for citizenship when you're born. Therefore, we know that all those has effects in the communities. Do you see the Upper Merion community aware, sensitive, concerned for the situation that we are living? What is your sense? Do you see it partially? Do you see that in general they are concerned or not? What do you think? What's your sense?
Depends where you look.
Yep. It's varied. It depends on who your social group are and who you work with and who you have contact with. Depends on how you follow the news and what your news sources are. There are still many people out there that don't understand the difference between an undocumented immigrant and a criminal immigrant. Like, there's this perception that, well, why didn't they just do it the right way? And they don't understand that for so many of these people, number one, they have done it the right way, and they're in this infinite waiting loop for hearings and things. Or that, number two, there simply wasn't a right way. There was not a legal path for them to come and be in a place where they are not in danger from the gangs or whatever it was that chased them out of their home. And
then they get here and they're still being chased by this portion of their gang. Some of them. Some of my students have been, oh my goodness, you should see on Mondays when they come back up from the weekend, there's a difference. You can see it. It's bad.
Therefore, part of the lack of understanding and knowledge, media has played an important role in informing or misinforming, or misportraying or providing a narrative that doesn't make justice to the community. Right. That's why we make a local effort to tell our stories. A local effort that the community can tell the stories. Therefore, that narrative doesn't belong to the big media. No, that's part of the effort that we do here.
Well,
No,
because the big media is there to get the numbers. They don't care what they're saying. They need the watchers. They need the listeners. That's all they're in for. And so they're not there. There's no real reason for them to give the full story or the right story, for that matter.
how do you get informed? What media do you use? Or what media they are?
I set out a number of years ago, and I said, I've got to find media sources that I disagree with,
Okay.
because otherwise all you get is the echo chamber. And so trying to find a variety of media sources, and whether it's traditional media, CNN and NBC and Fox and that kind of thing, or whether it's certain, I don't want to use the term influencer, but people that are sort of news influencers that you follow. Prime example would be Heather Cox Richardson. She's wonderful.
A news reporter.
She's a historian. She's a political historian. But she started during the first Trump administration putting out a daily Facebook post, and that's all it was. It was a daily Facebook post that was a roundup of the day's news put into a historical context from her expertise. And so she could draw from examples in the 19th century based on
How it connects.
this is what happened then, and this is how it's similar here, and this was the effect back in the 1820s, and this is what we can expect. And it's always very well researched, and she's got a ton of links showing her sources. And so finding those reliable sources and also knowing what the biases are of your sources.
Yes. I liked that you said you had to find media that you disagree with. So then you can listen to that media, read that media, and see what's the other side.
Right. But there's also a balance, because you can't be in a space where it's just going to make you angry all the time, because what they're saying is ridiculous. So you've got to, it's crazy the way you have to curate your own news these days.
Yeah. And again, as a teacher, I automatically think of the students who are exposed to this media, and people who have graduated recently who haven't been in this media. I feel like I'm in the generation that kind of was introduced to different media sources gradually. So we understand where those media sources kind of rate in our minds, in our priorities, where now students and young adults just hear both sides coming at them, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to curate
Everybody's
it for
talking.
themselves.
How do you figure out who to listen to?
Yeah.
And everybody sounds like they know what they're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody speaks with an expertise, whether they have it or not.
We know some people like that.
Which is very important. Actually,
We're having a conversation earlier.
and
No names.
and one of the things is interesting what you mentioned, because the changes that we are pursuing in different municipalities, like a welcoming resolution, no? I mean, last week it was the welcoming resolution of the county,
Yeah.
Yes.
which was very important. I was there, I covered, we brought an article. Next week, we are having here in the program Nelly Jimenez, who is the immigration officer or the director of immigrant affairs at Montgomery County.
Okay.
And she will talk to us about what it means, the immigration resolution, or the resolution that they passed last week. But now we go to a municipality. For our listeners, Montgomery County stands in one of the three most important counties in the state, including Philadelphia, Allegheny, and Montgomery. Very important for elections, very important for the decisions. The current governor, John Shapiro, comes from Montgomery County, and therefore that tells you about the importance of the county. And the county has 62 municipalities. 62 municipalities. Last week, we have here in the interview Chief Michael Trail, the Chief of Police of Norristown area. And today, we are coming to this proposal that is the welcoming resolution for Upper Merion. Tell us, how is the resolution going? How is the conversation with the authorities? Tell us how is going everything there.
Our main goal is to get all of the township supervisors on our side, quote unquote, our side, to actually understand what needs to happen to keep everyone safe in Upper Merion, honestly.
So the goal of a welcoming resolution is that it would bind all of the township officials, all the township employees, and all of the members of the township police department by this idea that there's not going to be a voluntary sharing of information or a voluntary cooperation with immigration authorities if there's not an actual judicial warrant, an actual criminal issue involved.
Right.
And so every nation has the right and the obligation to set its own immigration laws and its own citizenship laws and to enforce those policies. But when we have what we are seeing recently with people being illegally arrested, illegally detained, illegally deported,
some happens because they were going after a different person and this one got in the way.
Right. Or we're going to break down your door because somebody that we were after used to live in your house 4 years ago.
Yeah, so now we're going to scare you and your kids and...
Right. Whereas if everything slows down a little bit, you get an actual warrant for an actual address, for an actual person. Everybody deserves justice, which means everybody deserves due process. And what we are seeing from our federal immigration authorities is a short-circuiting of due process. And our police department, our local resources should absolutely be cooperating with lawful federal enforcement. But
once it goes unlawful.
And there's so much that's so out of control right now that we want something that is on paper, that is policy, that is enforceable, that just because you know somebody, just because you pulled somebody over,
doesn't mean you need
doesn't mean you're going to call up your buddy from the academy who's now working at ICE
and say,
hey, I got one.
Here's your money for the week. That's what it turns into.
One of the things is, as far as you know, what is the position of the police department in
So
Upper
the
Merion?
police department has vocally said that they will enforce everything to be legal. I don't know how to say that in a better way. They have not had anything that's enforceable. The township supervisors who create these policies and ordinances have been, again, vocal with their agreement in the fact that something needs to happen in order to keep the citizens safe. They all agree that we are not currently doing enough. 2 of the board supervisors have actually said that they agree that we need a welcoming policy in Upper Merion. And one of which is really fighting hard with us and working with us to create change, to do something. He's actually the one who helped us realize, no, we don't need a welcoming ordinance, we need a welcoming policy because it's so different in all of the legalities.
Right. Many of us are very new to small government.
Yes.
Explain to us, for our audience, a little bit more about the difference, or what you know about the difference.
What we've been told is that, so an ordinance is good in that it creates enforceable policy with actual consequences. A resolution, also, I don't know how much it's enforceable. It's a question we've been kind of going back and forth with.
And that's why our group has been pushing so hard for months.
Right, and that's why we're working with
to get something in
with
writing.
experts.
Right.
We've got a lawyer who's been helping us from the Pennsylvania Immigration Coalition, helping us with the verbiage and where we need to go. But the benefit of the resolution, from what I understand it, is that it covers all township employees, not just the police force.
Nice. Okay.
But having something that's written in policy also can give whether it's police officers or other township employees, can give them cover for when they're getting pressured to say, hey, I need your help with this. I need you to give me this information. They can say, oh, I'm not allowed to.
So
It's against
when
policy.
ICE comes
I'll get
in
written
and
up.
tries to get them to help them detain someone, we can say, no, we're here
And to be protected.
to keep, we're
Right.
here.
Because
and
they're-
then still be protected by that, exactly.
They're definitely facing pressure. Like, oh, are you guys against law enforcement? Are you against the feds? How's
Right.
really, guys? Really, you know?
And
I
we're
thought
not here
I
to
thought this
say
meant something
that,
to you. Well,
yeah.
no, I'm
And
not
we're-
allowed.
We're not here to say we're against the police force.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
We're here to say we're against what a lot of police forces have been sucked into doing.
We're against the misuse of our police force.
Yes.
And these are the resources
and we
that
wanna help
we
them to use these policies correctly.
absolutely, and to try and remove some of those perverse incentives that are operating.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, what is right now the stage of this? I know that is coming an event,
Yes.
and I know that you have some of the. What are the things that is very important when you share about ordinance and resolution? But
So-
also, what is the event that is coming?
So we have been working again. This group has been working for months and months and months, sharing stories, sharing information, sharing helpful verbiage to get something written down. All of that work, where all of us have been sitting for hours at these business meetings. Finally, we have gotten them to agree to a town hall. So next Thursday, we have this town hall where the Board of Supervisors will be there, the Chief of Police will be there. We're trying to get as many people there as we can.
And this is going to be an opportunity where nobody has to sit and listen through 3 hours of arguments about
Yes.
stormwater runoff
Oh
for
my
a property
goodness.
that's not ours.
Though after
It is
the
just
third
about
hour-
immigration.
After that third hour of that hearing, you gotta.
It's just about immigration. There's no other agenda. There's no grandstanding from the supervisors or anybody else. Any member of the Upper Marion Township community, so anybody who either lives in the township or pays taxes
So
in the
works-
township,
works
works in the
here,
township, can
Owns a
come,
business, any of that.
owns a business, can come and have their say
Have
as
their
to-
voices heard.
how we should protect our immigrant neighbors in our community.
At what time is the meeting?
That is at 7 o'clock this coming
7.
Thursday.
Yes.
So that's Thursday,
we-
March 19th. And it's capped at an hour and a half. So you have an hour and a half to get in your... Andy Warhol says you have 15 minutes of fame, but Upper Marion says you have 3 minutes. You can sign up to speak.
And only 30 people, because it's 90 minutes, 3 minutes a person.
Not everybody's going to use their whole 3 minutes,
That's
perhaps.
true. That's true.
But you can speak directly to the supervisors about immigration and be heard. And then...
But even if we don't have time for everybody to be heard,
right.
even if you're not comfortable saying something, you don't have something to say, but you support us. You support what's going on. Be there.
And this is
Bodies in the room speak volumes.
I'm hoping this is going to be a good opportunity for other local leaders, whether this is school board or school administration leaders, neighboring boroughs or neighboring townships, to come and hear what the members of our communities are saying, what our concerns are, what our goals are, what we as local people who do not run the Department of Homeland Security can do.
Yeah. A lot of people feel helpless.
Absolutely.
Right now. That's where we were a few months
That's why we're here.
Town hall next week is to help everybody be heard.
And what are you expecting after that? Are you expecting that later there will be a voting that...
We are hoping that by the time the next business meeting comes around, the supervisors will have a draft resolution of some kind that they're comfortable with.
And if not, we're going to be there to pressure it.
Right. But we've provided models and examples that they can build off of, but we would like to see a decision to move forward rather than something that forever remains in the public comment section at the end of a business meeting.
Something
that's about
needs to actually be written. We can't keep putting it off. Last time I was there, so a month ago from yesterday, I couldn't attend yesterday's meeting. But one of the supervisors held up a folder of stuff that she was researching from neighboring communities. And that does nothing.
Research is great if if it's a step towards an end.
Yes.
But at some point, that end has to come.
Has to come. Needs to be there.
Then it becomes very important to all our listeners of
Yes.
Upper Merion. This March 19 at 7 p.m. is this town hall that we talk about immigration. Very important to attend if you are resident
Please.
of Upper Merion. And I guess some other visitors from some other areas might sit down just to listen, no?
Absolutely. If you're not a resident of Upper Merion,
Yes.
there will most likely not be an opportunity to speak, but we would love to
Support.
see you come and listen and show your face, just as a presence there that says, I believe in this.
That's
There-
very important.
There's also a big group, a couple different groups of people who don't feel like they can support this one way or another because of safety issues, because of work issues, where their workplace doesn't want them to bring up trouble. Is there a way that we can provide a link or something in the podcast after the fact?
Absolutely.
And we
Absolutely.
can have people kind of contact if they're not
Yes.
comfortable speaking up and they still want their story heard. We are more than happy to.
And
People would be welcome to
Yeah.
contact either us or to contact the supervisors
Yes,
directly.
direct-
They have
That would
said,
be- yeah,
email me, and their
Yeah.
email is going to be on the Upper Merion Township website.
And hopefully we can add that to the podcast at the end as well. They have an email listed, and I think we have it in
do
our.
you have it? Then we
brochure.
can then we can share it with our team.
It's not on this version, but it's on the
It's on the
updated
new
version.
I'll
of
get
the-
that to
then
you.
we can
flyer.
share it here with
Yeah.
Mr. Uriel or with Mr. Andy.
Appreciate it.
And
then
if-
they can put it on the screen.
And you're always welcome to contact Angela De La Valle because she is a trusted member. If you have kids in Upper Merion and you've had contact through the ESL program, you know who Angela is. Feel free to send a message through her. Feel free to contact any of us directly.
Yeah.
If you need anonymity, we will be happy to help provide that in whatever fashion.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I want to offer is to follow up after the township. Let's agree in a date that you can come back and tell us how
How
was
did it go?
how did it go, what is the result, what are the next steps, and we would love to have you back here in the podcast. Here in
We would be
Mobilizate,
honored.
Mobilizate. Excellent.
Anything to get this across.
Excellent. Very good. Then, thank you so much, Dana and Erica, for being with us today,
Thank you.
for sharing about your perspective and how the community of Upper Merion has been living through this time. Is anything that you would like to add before
just looking
we
at
finish
mine.
the transmission of today?
I want to stress the fact that we are not here to speak for immigrants. As you commented earlier, white mother. I'm like, yeah, me too. We're not here to speak for others. Everyone has freedom of speech. Our society has taken that away from a lot of people, including immigrants, and various people in workplace have had this freedom of speech taken away. We are not here to speak for you. If you reach out for some anonymity, that's not what it's going to turn into. We are here to fight. We are here to represent the idea, because that opportunity has been taken away from so many people. It's, I don't know. It really gets me. My eyes water a lot. I'm trying not to.
Dana.
I would say that everybody has their reasons for getting involved and what they want to see. For me as a Christian, in my decades of reading the Bible, studying the Bible, and the heart of God demonstrated throughout Scripture over and over again is his heart is for mercy and justice for the oppressed. Yes. And that is God's character, is mercy and justice. And that is what I want to see for my neighbors. That's what I want to see for my nation. That's what I want to see for my children in the place where they grow up. And so that's why we're here.
Yeah.
For mercy and justice.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana, and thank you, Erica. One of the things that I want to mention is Montgomery County, as I say, is formed by 62 municipalities, when Norristown, Upper Merion now are defining and have defined. It becomes something that other municipalities in Montgomery County will have to start to think about it in coming months. Not always this dialogue and this discussion can be put aside on and apart. Whitpain, Collegeville, and other places, other municipalities here in Montgomery County is necessary to come to reality and to see what has been happening in the county. My name is Obed Arango, and thank you for being with us today in Organize, Mobilize, a podcast that is transmitted from the city of the Brotherly Love, Philadelphia, in the suburb of Norristown. Thank you, muchas gracias. Nos vemos la siguiente semana. Hasta luego.